Today's guest is Pierre Maggi, a six-figure business owner, CEO of the National Association of Locators, and founder of Locator IQ, the all-in-one SaaS powered by GohighLevel. While SaaS is just one part of his business, it already generates over 30 sub-accounts and 5K MRR. Pierre helps real estate agents break into the apartment locating space, showing why it's easier and more lucrative than traditional realtor work. In this episode, he shares how his SaaS comes pre-configured to save agents time, the difference between being a locator versus a realtor, and the system that makes this niche so profitable. Welcome, Pierre. How are you?
Hey, welcome. Thank you so much, Tina. I'm really excited to be able to talk about GHL and everything digital marketing with you.
Awesome. Pierre, let's start with the basics. What exactly is apartment locating and how does it differ from being a traditional realtor?
Sure. So, everyone's familiar with a realtor and how they sell houses. So, locators are just licensed real estate agents. They went to the same school, it's the same license, the same credentials. But these agents focus on helping regular people rent regular apartments. And the reason we can do that, and the reason a lot of agents choose to do this path in real estate, it's really unknown when you look at the numbers and you compare locators to realtors. The reason agents focus on this niche is because we're able to do the business from home and we can earn more money. Basically, the average income of a locator is more than a realtor, and it's confirmed by a lot of different sources. So that's what's really exciting about this new model.
Amazing. What inspired you to start Locator IQ? Did you come from a realtor background yourself or spotted an opportunity from the outside? How did that came to fruition?
Yeah, so I sort of made the pivot myself, becoming a locator when I first started, real estate. I was 19 years old. I was trying to be a traditional realtor, and it really didn't work out for me. So luckily, I'm in this city, Austin, Texas, where this little niche kind of started. It all began in Austin. And so when I made the pivot, I finally started seeing success in a less challenging model. And so I was a locator myself for a few years, for 4 years before I started coaching and showing other agents how to do the same thing. If you look at the numbers between the two, there are just under 3,000 active locators compared to 1.5 million active realtors. So once I kind of understood that, a lot of agents and people just weren't aware of the model. That's kind of where I pivoted to start teaching and getting the word out on YouTube. And so a lot of what we focused on, from year 1 to year 3 was showing real estate agents a new, less challenging model, but then how to really get organized with infrastructure, digital marketing, and a lot of I would say, concepts that were really unfamiliar to agents. A lot of real estate agents kind of struggle with digital marketing. And so we were teaching a lot of different tools to kind of like create a funnel and give them organization. And then after 3 years of coaching in the space, we figured out that GHL was sort kind of could replace 7 or 8 different systems we were teaching. And so it's been really cool to kind of implement GHL and build it out for real estate agents because the biggest
Uh,
challenge that we were facing with teaching is just getting everyone through infrastructure and logging in and out of a lot of tools and really
okay,
setting
okay.
everything up.
Let's take a step back here. You said K locators versus 1.5 million agents. What area is that? Is that Austin? Is that America? What are we talking here?
Yeah, just nationwide. Because we did the reason we figured this out is because before we started getting to paid advertising, we kind of like looked at how many active locators there were. It's a really easy search to do because when you're a real estate agent, everything is public information. So you can just
Mhm.
essentially go to the real estate commission website in every state and just find those keywords, locator, apartment locator, and just see all of the license holders that are active. Once we did a search nationwide to see how many locators there were, there's less than 3,000. So that's kinda how we figured out, the numbers on that.
Amazing. So if I would want to become a locator, what would be my first steps? How would I become a locator?
Yeah, and so the first step really is just to get your real estate license the way any real estate agent would. So all of the classes and the schooling is really the same, but During real estate school, no one really touches on the apartment locator niche, probably because it's just little known, even amongst realtors. So
Mhm.
that's sort of how we kind of paved out like an opportunity to help in that space.
Awesome. And then after that, after real estate school, I would come do it myself. I would go out and figure it out, or I could join your coaching program where I would learn the ins and outs on specifically then location. What is it called exactly?
Yeah, you could, a lot of people say apartment location or apartment locating would be the term. But yeah, so just like any real estate agent, when you first get licensed, you need to find a sponsoring broker. You can't just get your real estate license with no experience and start doing real estate yourself. So you have to work under a company. And that's kind of like another challenge with being a full time locator is that you have to, the best thing to do is to pick a company that's very familiar with the niche. And there's just
Mhm.
not a lot of brokerage firms that really exist in the first place. You can still do this with the really big guys, that are doing real estate. Every real estate brokerage firm will let you get into apartment rentals if you want, but the brokerage firms that specialize in locating, those are the ones that are going to understand how to go through collections and get you paid on time. So
Mhm.
just because you can do the model with any company doesn't necessarily mean you should. I always recommend that agents get sponsored by a brokerage firm that specializes in this niche, so they're paid faster.
Very cool. And what does your team look like behind the scenes?
Yeah, for sure. There's 5 of us executive coaches, and then we have 3 VAs that help out with customer service and stuff. So there's 8 of us now. And what we're doing is we're really focusing on spreading the message, building out the academy where we offer low ticket products, mid ticket, high ticket. And so that's kind of what we're focusing on now. And then we recently just rolled out the SaaS, which has been awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
we've been coaching for over 6 years. I wish I would have figured out about the SaaS component from year 1, but even in just under a year, we've been doing pretty decent with the SaaS.
Amazing. I want to touch on two things here. Number one, your product suite. You said you sell low ticket, mid ticket, and high ticket. What do these products look like, and how to get people into your funnel specifically?
Yeah, sure. For the majority of what we were doing is we were driving traffic to the mid-ticket offer, and then just from
Mhm.
there doing high ticket, once these students received results and then they wanted more one-on-one coaching. But sort of what we're doing this year is we've released a low ticket offer, and that is in the form of a school community. So it's a
Ah,
low cost subscription of like $67 a month. And the reason we were really like big like disbelievers of low ticket products for a long time.
yeah.
And the issue is that like just a lot of people don't know about the niche that we specialize in and how lucrative and just cool it could be as an option for real estate agents. So as a team, we kind of sat down and we're like, how do we get the message out in front of more people? And kind of the answer was to roll out a low ticket. So we're like,
Nice.
okay, maybe we can do something affordable where it's a community and then support that way. So now this year we're doing low ticket. And then once someone who enrolls receives results, they kind of naturally evolve to the mid ticket once they build more trust. And then once they're really making good income, then they would consider upgrading to the one on one coaching that we conduct for 8 weeks on Zoom. And then that's kind of like our 8K high ticket offer as well.
Nice. So on a $67 per month school group, what exactly happens in there that you think, okay, they're ready to transition into mid tier? And how much is the mid tier and what happens in mid tier?
Yeah, so they come in from $67 a month. We're actually running ads right now, which is cool. And so that the sort of the flow of the evolution is someone sees an ad, they're like, "Whoa, what is this all about?" They join the low ticket. And so in there, we give them a crash course. It's not we have 2 main courses. We have a locator crash course that is designed to help them set everything up, cover the basics, and just get them their first few leases is what we call it, because we don't close houses as locators, we help people sign leases. So they get their first few leases. Those can kind of look like $1 to $4,000, not as large as a house sale, but it's easier. And so they get their first few leases. They're like, wow, this is actually working. And in that low ticket, they get access to school, access to the crash course that we used to sell for 1,500, but it's free in there now as part of the low ticket subscription. And then they get live Q&As with me every single Wednesday. So we're there with them, we're answering questions. It's not as one-on-one or as intimate
Sure.
as like a Zoom session, but they still see me on a live stream. And so that's kind of what's included in the low ticket. And then once they want sort of like our real course, they trust that they can actually make money in the business, then they'll upgrade to our $2,000 mid ticket, like full masterclass. And with that, they get like a welcome call with one of our head coaches. His name is Alex, and he's a really awesome guy. He makes over 300K now, and we sort of met because he was one of my original students. And so a lot of
Nice.
our customers, yeah, they really like hearing that. They're like, "How did you meet your head coach?" "Well, he was in your shoes," and we kinda tell them that. And so we
Very
met
good.
that way. Yeah, yeah, and then they naturally kinda evolve later into the high ticket. Some of them do.
Very cool. Do you also sell your SaaS to the agencies themselves, or are you currently only focused on the locators and or maybe are you thinking about branching out later? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's funny, we're really not even focused on the SaaS, like, heavy promotion right now. Whether someone signs up to low ticket or mid ticket or high ticket, they kinda naturally as we're teaching them, we're kind of cross-selling the SaaS. Like, "Hey, you need a funnel, you need a survey, you need automations, you need an email thing. So you can sign up for, like, ClickFunnels, ActiveCampaign, Typeform," all these different tools. Or you could just do our locator focused, pre-built GHL. So naturally, as we're teaching them, whether it's the crash course or the mid ticket or the high ticket, they kind of just understand that they need to sign up for the SaaS because the way we position it is like if you took all these tools and added them up, you're over this amount of money where you could just do the
Sure.
same thing and we pre-build it thanks to GHL licensing the source code. And you could just do that, save money, and you kind of need it in how we're going to organize everything. So we don't even really push for the SaaS that hard. We just kind of present it to them, and then like more than 50% of them convert. So we're at
Very good.
36. Yeah, we're at 36 subscriptions now, but that's kind
Yay.
of how we've been. Yeah, yeah, I know, right? It's really
Yeah.
exciting too. Like we're really excited when the day comes where we like really start promoting the SaaS with ads and remarketing because we haven't even touched any of that and people just sign up naturally.
Sure. Amazing. So you said you're currently running ads then for the school community, or what exactly are you running ads for?
Yeah, paid ads has just become a lot challenging nowadays over a couple years ago. And so what we do is we run paid ads to the low ticket. And it's an easier yes, for people. And
Mhm.
we give them like a 7-day money back guarantee. So that's what we're focusing on with paid ads is just getting them through the low ticket. They're in school, it's still a $67 subscription, and then they get to see us live every week for Q&As. So that's kind of like what we're fueling. And
Mhm.
then what we're doing now is we're really working on, like, ramping our first appointment setter to really kinda, like, build more relationships in the school community and kinda
Yeah.
help them naturally evolve to, like, mid-ticket. Yeah.
Very nice. So what would you say is the cost per lead here, and what kind of ads are you running? Are you running Google ads, Facebook ads?
Oh, for the low-ticket ad campaign?
Yes.
So, we're forever testing different things. The flow that we're using like, if we're using Meta for now. We really wanna get into YouTube soon, but if you notice, like, YouTube is way more pickier with, like, things you say about income, where Meta just approves everything. So
Really? It used to be exactly the opposite a few years
yes,
ago.
exactly. 2 years ago, YouTube was like the jungle. You could say anything, and then Meta was, like, denying. It's, like, completely swapped now.
Really?
So
Okay.
yes. I can tell you this because 'cause I'm doing it right now. So,
Yeah.
we were in a team meeting, and we were because we were gonna start with YouTube. We just started the low ticket ad campaign, like, a month ago, and so I was like, "No, let's start with YouTube." People are the attention span is better, they're there to learn. So I'm like, "We
Sure.
ought to do YouTube ad to VSL opt-in to 22-minute VSL," and they sign up. And
Yeah.
so we uploaded, like, 10 ads to test, and YouTube just rejected everything. So then we were like, let's just upload to Facebook. Let's just see." And everything was approved. So we started with Meta. So
Amazing.
yeah, to go back to the cost per lead, the campaign where we're doing like 1 or 2 minute ad to VSL opt-in, very classic, like name, email, phone number, and then they see a 22-minute VSL. Then below the video, there's like a button to sign up for school. So it's a very traditional flow, ad, opt-in, VSL. And so with that, it's costing us like $67 to convert. So it's kind of like right at break even. That's kinda where we're
Interesting.
at now. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
very
we're
good.
test
Like, if you can get leads for free to break even, that's amazing. You can scale to the moon, you know?
Yeah, so, that's and I kind of prepared my team for that. So, like, my biggest strength is media buying and paid ads, where I have, like, my head coach, he's not really a media buyer, but he's really good at coaching the agents and showing them how to, like, cold call and do the business more. So, we kinda complement everyone's weaknesses in my team, which is really cool. But yeah, I was telling my team, I'm like, if we can just run ads to low ticket and break even, then we're good. So,
Amazing. As long as you then convert to the
mm,
mid-tier or high ticket, of course, right? But that's really cool. Yeah. So tell us, Pierre, so once people then sign up to your SaaS after they went through different courses, what does your offer look like inside the software? What comes pre-configured for them that that they need as a locator? And if you're ready to start your very own SaaS journey with High Level, I've got you covered. Use my link in the show notes below to grab a free trial or to upgrade your existing subscription and benefit from the bonuses I've put together specifically for you. Don't wait, this is the same platform powering the stories you have just heard.
yeah, for sure. I mean, just like any real estate agent, really, big thing that real estate agents waste time with, and it makes them not like their job eventually, is pre-qualifying leads. That's kind of like any business. So one of the things that comes configured is a survey to do automatic pre-qual. And we tie that, it redirects to book a Zoom call, which is another big issue in real estate is agents are so comfortable like doing manual phone calls with their cell phone, and they're not really used to using like a CRM and just organizing all the calls in there. Because over time, you need to know your KPIs as a business person or an agent. So we're kind of teaching them like, I know you guys are so used to calling people on your cell phone and closing
Yeah,
them, but you really need to start using a survey to automatically pre-qualify people, disqualify people with the disqualifying logic. And a lot of that stuff kind of blows their mind. They're so used to having these awkward conversations, like asking, their leads if they have felonies or what their credit score is and what the income is, all these like super personal questions. And every real estate agent, they don't really like doing that. And so
yeah,
that's like why a lot of them quit. And so with us, it's like, hey, use a survey software, redirect it to a Zoom appointment, put disqualifying logic in there so you don't have to do the thing you don't like. Right. And so that's kind of
amazing.
that's what's pre-configured is that whole flow as well.
Very cool. Awesome. And how much are you charging for Locator IQ right now?
199 a month.
Amazing. And that is like all inclusive, unlimited features, all that?
Yeah, and everything's kind of built in for locators. Realtors could benefit as well, but our niche is apartment locating. Yeah.
Nice. Very nice. And are you rebilling? Are you not rebilling? How are you handling that part?
Oh, yeah, so we roll over $15 a month in credit, and, what's cool about having real estate agents as clients in your SaaS company is that they really don't go through a lot of contacts. It's not like a e-com client or someone where they might have 10,000 leads that they're emailing. So for a real estate agent, if they can generate 100 leads or 100 contacts a month to 300 contacts a month, that's like plenty of leads for a real estate agent. So the contact limit doesn't have to be that high. They're not constantly emailing people. It's more like a hands-on kind of business real estate is. So, the rebilling stays low. I mean, we give them $15 a month that just, every single month is credit, and most of them don't even go over that limit to begin with. But if they do, then we do rebill at break even, so we don't profit.
Mhm. Interesting. What would you say, how
Yeah.
much is a new locator making per month? And what is the breaking point for them when they start to increase their monthly income?
Yeah, that's it. It's a little bit of a hard question to answer just because even though apartment locating is like a free service, as if we were a buyer's agent, it is still sales. So it all kind of comes down to, is the individual responsible? Are they going to wake up? Are they going to sleep in? Can they
Right.
connect with people and just be organized? So, maybe the average locator that's not part of our group, well, the income's still a little bit higher than average. I think they're averaging like, if you look at ChatGPT or Simply Hired or Indeed or Glassdoor, the average income's like 81K-ish
Mhm.
for locators, where the average realtor income's like 50. So
Mhm.
that kinda gives you an idea, but it does range because again, there's not really many
Of
of us
course.
in the first place. So our company goal is to help them do $12,000 a month or more, and that's kind of like a nice promise that we can actually get people to, and we have, like, hundreds of video testimonials, but we have students that do 20, 30, $40,000 months, but it's not really something you promise when you run,
Yes. Of course,
marketing.
yeah.
You kind of want to go under. So we tell people like, hey, if you need help with this new niche, you go through the lessons, you get the all-in-one SaaS. We can confidently help you $12,000 a month or more if you're willing to try. So that's kind of like the company promise. But yeah, those are the average incomes, like 80K for a locator.
Very interesting. So when they sign up for Locator IQ, they get the survey pre-built, the pre-qualification automation. What else will they get when they sign up that makes their life as a locator easier?
Yeah, a lot of things. Obviously, the basic stuff like email templates, text templates, of course, that's pretty easy to understand. But what we do is we give them a really optimized survey that's actually converting in our own practice because we apartment locate as well. I do it part time now, but this is all I do is like locate and teach the industry, and that's it. So they get a survey. We do implant like a 1 minute VSL inside of the survey. Have you noticed it with GHL, you can put a 4K video in the survey? Have you
Yes.
noticed that? Yeah,
Yes,
you
there's
can't
a
do that with a lot with a lot of survey, like, you can't do that with Typeform, which I thought was really cool. Um, so yeah, we give them, like, a pre-built survey, a 1 minute VSL at the end of the survey. We give them their calendar kinda configured. We give them a sales funnel, so they have, like, a landing page. It's all kinda built out for the niche as well. And then the main valuable thing that comes included are the automations. We have, like, 8 really awesome automations that make life a whole lot easier for them. When it comes to things like ghosting, we have an automation that kinda solves that. We have the basic
Good.
call reminders. Yeah, yeah, just a lot of cool stuff, because that's another big concern in any kind of sales industry is, like, when
Sure.
people ghost you, what do you
Right.
do? And so, yeah,
Tell
we
us,
have
what
that
do you do?
automation.
Tell us what is in that
Yeah.
automation.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So the trigger is, and they can adjust the days, but the trigger is like if there's no activity in the new leads pipeline, or if they booked a call, there's just like no activity for 10 days, then that's what the trigger is in the automation. And it puts them into the workflow. And so that workflow gives them emails, offers, texts, voicemail. And it's just kind of like really cool, exciting things just to get them to reply. So as you're familiar, we go into the settings and we put stop on response just to like defeat ghosting. And so if someone ghosts me after X amount of days, Then they go through the workflow and it's like, "Hey, we just got our last client 2 months free. Are you still looking for a place?" No response. Then it's a text. "Hey, we got this person a month free here." And we put like the real apartment name. And it's
Mhm.
like, are you looking for a place? No response. And it's just kind of like offers and incentives. A lot of the times we will give them like $100 Visa gift card offer. And we're like, hey, this is what we started doing it this week is we're giving $100 Visa gift card, for working with us. Are you still looking for a place? So all kind of creative ways. So it's like a 30-day automation. And the
Uh-huh.
goal is just for them to respond once and then it defeats ghosting. So
Very
yeah.
nice. So no more ghosting. That's amazing.
It really helps. Yeah, it really helps. So, yeah.
Amazing. Very cool. You mentioned your head coach, Alex, makes 381K a year as a
Yeah.
locator using your system. Can you share more about that?
Yeah, for sure. So Alex was a bartender in Fort Lauderdale. Real estate is just really popular in Florida. That's kind of where, if you know about Airbnb, it kind of all started in Florida. So
Okay.
yeah. Well, it's just a big business, Airbnb, and I think a lot of people don't know that it started in Florida, but he was in Florida and he tried to be a traditional realtor and it did not do well.
While I have you here, make sure to hit that subscribe button, leave me a like because most of you are constantly watching but you're not subscribed. It will help out this channel tremendously if you would just hit the subscribe and like button and even leave a comment below. Thank you.
For him. And so he found me on YouTube and he wanted to look into rentals. And then he saw this apartment locating thing and kind of signed up. So he went through our original program when I was like year one of coaching and it was just me alone. And he invested. And his first year, he made like 200K. His second year, very similar. He bought a house in Florida. And then his largest year, I think, was like year 3 or 4, and he did 381,000 purely as a
Nice.
locator. Yeah, so obviously, naturally, he just built a lot of trust with me and everything, and I saw that he was doing really, really well. He was kinda like one of my all-star students, if you will.
Yeah.
And so I reached out to him and I'm like, "Look, clearly you know how to close and do the business really well." And so I was looking for someone that had this trust built with me that could help me coach others. And what better head coach than someone that organically took your program, had results, respects you. And so I made him an offer to be the head coach. And now he helps. He helps me with a lot of everything we do. We're on company meetings every week, and he's helping others receive results. So yeah.
So good. Very good. That makes me very happy to hear that because, sometimes people go through programs and they don't really get results or they don't do the work. And it's always so good to hear those case studies where people just really smashing it. So it's really good.
Yeah, totally. Yes, agree.
So, Pierre, what would you say? What's the biggest challenge in scaling Locator IQ to 30 subs and 5K MRR?
The biggest challenge, let's see here. I would say for one, onboarding. I feel like a lot of SaaS agencies would agree. Our onboarding is tough. The A2P drives all of us crazy because you type like one thing wrong in the sample answers and it's like denied. You got to keep paying the fee. So that's been really tough. You know what I'm talking about.
I do,
Uh,
yeah.
so what we do actually is we just white label, for the onboarding.
Mhm.
And if they pay, because we charge like a 199 fee for the onboarding, but we want that offer to be there so that way someone can like guide them through signing up and then taking over that A2P. And they've been really good at helping people get past the A2P. We also offer like a free mini course that like sets up their SaaS, and it's just me kind of going through the automations, going through setup, connecting their calendar. But a lot of them just don't watch it, and so then we still offer
Mm.
the onboarding. So I would say that the big challenge is definitely onboarding. You have to white label it or just pay a VA yourself to just really welcome people and just get them onboarded. Because that's the big thing that's gonna make everyone churn is they're just so overwhelmed. Because as you know, GHL is a really great, tool, but it's kind of like a blank canvas, you know? It, like, you sign up for, like, a natural GHL and, like, everything's empty. The recipes kinda help a little bit, but not really if you're, like, really
Yeah.
niche dependent. So, a lot of it is just, having everything pre-built in a snapshot, but you need onboarding and you need the A2P, and so that's, like, kinda the biggest challenge with that.
Was there a point where you thought this might not work? And if so, how did you push through it?
No, I've always actually known that it was gonna work
Good.
because yeah, and only because, again, our biggest thing was, like, the academy, and then we do have a traditional brokerage firm where we sponsor a few agents, and the thing is, we didn't even really license the source code from GHL and, like, turn it into Locator IQ. We didn't even do that until, like, year 5 of coaching. We've been coaching for, like, close to 7 years. And so we didn't even really do the SaaS until like maybe a year ago. So before that, we were just, teaching Active Campaign and ClickFunnels and Typeform and all these other tools. And we were every single month, we were still receiving affiliate commission from Active Campaign and like all of these other tools. And
Yeah.
so from that aspect, I already knew it was gonna work, and so when we, licensed, GHL and turned it into IQ, it was a no-brainer. We're like, "Okay, we're going from teaching, like, 6 tools to 1, and then it's cheaper for people, and they're already signing up to the more." Because when people signed up with us from year 1 to 5, they were paying, like, over $400 a month, with ClickFunnels and ActiveCampaign and all these tools. So, to us, it was like, "Okay, 1 tool, consolidated, less back and forth logging in, and it's cheaper and better." So, I kinda already knew it was gonna work. Yeah.
Right. Awesome. Looking back, what would you do differently if you were to start again from scratch?
Uh, I definitely think I would have implemented the SaaS way earlier. I think one big win is that we started doing the onboarding white label right away because we kind of understood. So that was kind of a nice win, but I would have just offered the SaaS and got into SaaS a whole lot sooner in the from the birth of the company just because it makes so much sense on so many levels, and it's a better user experience when someone can sign up to a tool and most of the work is pre-built. So, yeah, that's what I would have done is offered SaaS more. I wasn't even familiar with what SaaS was a few years ago, if you can imagine that.
Sure.
I finally learned what it stand for, software as a service, like a couple years ago. So, I would have offered it earlier.
Right. What was one of the toughest moments when someone maybe canceled that be the software or maybe inside of your program? What exactly happened? Why did they cancel and how did you take it?
Okay, I can tell you a really interesting story where I helped GHL and then they actually paid me for my input. It's actually a very interesting story. Yeah, so we had a few cancellations all at once, and it was because, we were pushing a snapshot update. We had made some updates to the automations mainly. Those are always, never ending, making them better. So
Mhm.
we had really nice advancements to the automation. We're like, "Oh, this is great. Let's push the snapshot to all of the accounts." And, I was really careful, but the IQ UI changed and like the wording on there was kind of confusing. So I check marked the box, like overwrite everything. And I pushed the update and everyone's work was like deleted, error, and then like nothing was pushed out. So I had like ruined everyone's automations and their funnels. And it was this happened like a few months ago and we were all freaking out and I was like, how could I have let this happen? And so I was reviewing everything and all the steps and I'm like, okay, snapshot, refresh the snapshot, click here. What did I do wrong? And so I took a screenshot of everything and I posted in the GHL group and I'm like, did I do
Help.
anything wrong? And then they were like, everyone was like, no, that's how you do the snapshot updates. You did everything right. And I was like, what is happening? And so I tagged Sean, the founder, and I was like, "You have to help me, like, 30 of my people are so mad." And then he what was really nice of Sean is he put me on a booked call with someone from, like, the real team outside of the customer service, and so 2 individuals from, GHL hopped on with me, and they were kinda in disbelief. They're like, "What did you do?" And I walked them through it, and I'm like, "We're gonna click here, right? Yes. Then we click there. Yes. Then we click there, right?" They're like, "Yes." I'm like, "So now they should receive the assets and nothing affected." And they're like, "Yes." So I'm like, "Watch this." We hit go. It like ruined the account. There are all these like because the automations, the names were like error and all this stuff. And so they were like, "Oh my gosh, you found a bug." Like, "You found a bug." And so they're like, "You're right. You didn't do anything wrong. This is us." And so they were like, "We'll fix this in like 3 days." They were really quick about fixing the bug. But that's what happened, and I didn't even know how to communicate it with people. We're like, "We're so sorry, guys. We're continuing to develop IQ. Everyone gets a month free." And so we had to just give everyone a month free. But they emailed me back and they were like, "Hey, Pierre, thank you so much for finding this snapshot update bug." And I think they gave me like 2 months of the license fee, like, waived. So that was cool. Yeah.
Awesome.
That was, like, the biggest horror story, and a few people canceled.
They canceled after that.
Yeah, like 3 people canceled and, you know, because they were
Right.
so frustrated because they had, like, made all these changes to their sales funnel and designed it and created some automations and all of it just and we couldn't recover it. We couldn't
So,
recover it.
yeah, what's been the biggest personal sacrifice you've had to make to build this business?
Personal sacrifice, well, just working longer hours than a normal employee. But the thing is, I've come to accept that at, like, a young age. Uh when I quit my job, I was a personal banker at a credit union here in Austin when I was 19, and I quit to start real estate. And I haven't received like a company paycheck since I've been 19. I'm 30 now. So I mean, I've just been so used to accepting that I have to work harder, I have to work longer hours, and everything is my fault, you know? So it's just been so long since I've come to that understanding. So I would just say, regular sacrifice that an entrepreneur would make is that you got to work harder than most people. And sometimes you still fail and you just got to learn and then make it work anyways. And that alone is, I think, a big sacrifice. Most people aren't willing to put in more hours if it's not a guaranteed paycheck.
So, what would you say to our audience out there who are thinking about starting their own little SaaS and they have no idea where to start, but they're kind of like interested in the realtor niche or maybe locator niche? What would you say to them?
Yeah, I think starting a SaaS, if that was my primary focus, I think it's a very scalable thing. I would recommend maybe picking one thing that GHL might do and just sell that instead of like a full system build. So, like with us, we kind of had no choice except to provide everything to agents because it's what they need. But
Yeah.
if I was to tell someone, hey, you're interested in SaaS, you like the benefit of the MRR and you want to do your own SaaS company, I would say like sell one or two things. Like, I don't know, be like a review reputation specialist and just get really, really good at like building reviews for companies and building that one automation and just selling that for like whatever the price 199 299 whatever instead of like having a whole a whole CRM offer because there's just more that can go wrong when you're
Hmm.
not hyper focused. So I would
Yes.
say like unless you're an advanced digital marketer, which I mean, I know a lot about digital marketing, but I don't even consider myself advanced. I'm constantly learning. I'm like high intermediary. And so if you're not like a super advanced digital marketer, I would just choose one thing to continue to sell, like be the review builder or be the person that helps scrape for leads using the prospecting tool. Like just use one major thing that GHL can help you accomplish for clients and just focus on that instead of everything because it's a very overwhelming software if you're not advanced.
Very good. 100% agree. If you think back to your lowest point in this journey, what did you tell yourself that kept you from quitting? Like, what's your why? What is the one thing that gets you through the hurdles?
I would just say probably providing for my family is the biggest why. That's definitely my biggest driver for sure. I'm fortunate enough to have a really great family and a great relationship with my family. I also have a big family, and most of them are in Argentina since I'm half Argentinian.
Yeah.
And, they don't really make a lot of money out in Argentina with how bad the economics are out there. And, I was I come from, like, a lower middle class family as well. So, I would say just the idea of being able to support my family and give them a better situation in life is my why, for sure.
Amazing. If you had to start at 0 subs, but with everything you know now, what would you do differently?
Maybe I would probably perfect the automations because that's actually what gave me a lot of problems with the many snapshot updates and the glitches. And, you know, whenever you make big changes to your automations, your old clients have the old ones, the new clients have the new ones. And I would say that took a lot of effort and work to not only keep advancing automations, but then getting all the past clients or the old clients up to speed again. So I would just say like maybe it might have been wiser to just brainstorm all of the automations that are appropriate for your niche and just refine them. And you don't have to be perfect, like minimal viable product, but just having all of them listed out like, this is what I need. This is what I need. I need the ghosting automation. I need the call confirmation. Good. And like once you kind of like agree on that, then as long as that's set, that's what takes a lot of time for us is like keep to continue to fix the automations and just update them across accounts. So like maybe get to a place where you feel really good that the automations don't have to keep changing or moving. And I would have figured that out from the start, not like while we're growing.
Great. What's the one decision that's had the biggest impact on your success with Locator IQ?
The one decision that's had the biggest impact of the success, I would just say kind of tying it into the academy
Yeah,
and making it a critical part of what we teach. So, and maybe even selling it through that angle is a part of like a curriculum. And, people don't have to do what we do and open up and scale a whole academy and have low ticket, mid ticket, high ticket. Like, you don't need to do all of that. But if you're just focusing on SaaS, maybe you can put together like a quick mini course. It's however you want to teach the SaaS, like teach the lessons and have the answer be the SaaS. Because that way, you can even use that mini course as a low ticket offer or a lead magnet where you're selling it in the angle of helping people. It doesn't cost a lot of money, but part of the lesson of what they need to do is sign up for your SaaS, if that makes sense.
makes total sense to me. Awesome. What does freedom slash independence mean to you now that you've built this business? And is it the same freedom you were chasing when you started?
Yeah. So I mean, it's freedom has been really cool. I haven't thought of that in a while since I've been working for myself for over a decade, but it's definitely nice to um, be able to work as much as you want and then not work some days. So the freedom in that aspect is really cool. But I don't think I'm quite at the goal that I've set for myself. I would like to continue scaling a whole lot more
Okay.
to get more freedom. Yeah.
What's the goal? What's the goal?
Well, my goal, it's a big vision. I don't know if you're ready for it.
I'm ready. I'm born ready.
Okay, yeah. Um, so what I'm trying to do is continue growing the academy, getting the word out, and then we're trying to convert the current students into our brokerage firm and scale the agent count to 500 agents. And the reason we do that is because it's a lot easier to sell a company as a brokerage firm with active agents over just an academy, right? And so what my big vision is to continue growing the academy, building trust with people, have them join my brokerage firm, and then right when we're at around 500 active agents, sell my company, the National Association of Locators, back to like a big real estate company or
Nice.
trust fund. Yeah, at like 100 M's. And we're the kind of the goal there is like presenting it as the missing puzzle in real estate, right? Because there's all these big companies that focus on realtors and selling houses, and they're really huge businesses. But a lot of them don't really understand that like the first step or stage one in their own process is when the clients rent apartments, because everyone rents apartments and they're renters before they're buyers. So if I can like prove the concept not only with the academy that's not really that sellable, but the MRR from the SaaS helps. A lot of investors like to see MRR. But then the big thing is to generate cash flow with the SaaS and the academy, but really build like a traditional brokerage firm and then contact them and say, hey, this is the missing puzzle of real estate is no one's really capitalizing, at stage one with renters. And we've made it into a very lucrative business and then just sell the whole company in 5 years.
Very cool. Very awesome. Good goal. Good luck with that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of a dreamer, but we'll see if I can pull it off.
You can pull off anything as long as you put your mind to it.
That's right. I agree.
People have done it in the past. It's not rocket science. It will give you a few more hours on your schedule for sure, but you can get
Yeah.
there. No doubts about
Yeah.
that.
Yep. Absolutely.
Awesome. Let's move to the MRR minute. I'm going to ask you 5 quick questions. I would like to have
Mhm.
5 quick answers. What's the one SaaS you pay for that you would never cancel outside of GHL?
Um, well, it's between Canva Pro and Typeform Video Ask. Yeah,
If you had to pick one, which one would it be?
Typeform Video Ask, and it's
Okay.
expensive too. And I'm like, oh man, we're never canceling this. and,
Okay.
it's so expensive. Yeah,
One tactic that added the most subs for you.
build it into your digital course as a lesson. Just
Great.
build it in.
Your number one churn killer.
White labeling onboarding, especially A2P. I would say not having some sort of like a setup course, even if it's short, that your people can go through. And we text and email them. We're like, take the setup course right
Yes.
now. And so I would say that and then A2P. Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you could only track one metric in SaaS, which one would it be?
Hmm. If I could only track one metric in our SaaS, what
Yeah.
would it be? Churn rate. Yeah, churn rate. Because if you can lower that, whatever price you're pricing your SaaS at, it's always good because you can just keep growing it and it's MRR. So as long as you can just, I would be more interested in the churn rate as the metric.
Awesome. Biggest myth about scaling a SaaS?
The biggest myth is that you have to have a huge team to do onboarding and client, customer service as well. And that's a myth because you can just white label it. And, these companies take the white labeling customer service support very seriously and they do a good job. So that's a myth.
Awesome. Anything else you would like to add that we didn't discuss yet?
I would just say it's also important if you're a SaaS. GHL is growing so much, their marketing budgets are continuing to grow. So it's as if even the end consumers know kind of what GHL is. So the final kind of message is it's not about hiding that, whatever your SaaS is powered by GHL. You don't have to hide that. But instead, you should educate everyone on how the advances that you've made, whether it's more code that your developers put in there or the UI or the done for you really want to not lie and not hide that you're licensing the source code from GHL, but why you've made it better and more appropriate for your own niche. Because everyone knows, and GHL is only growing. So it's all about kind of positioning why you've taken this tool that's very complicated as a blank slate and you've made it appropriate for your niche. So it's about transparency.
Very great, very great advice. Thank you very much. Pia, it was amazing to have you as a guest. Thank you very much for taking the time to speaking with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed it.
You have just heard how powerful HighLevel is for building and scaling SaaS. If you want to follow the same or a similar path, click the link in the description, sign up via my affiliate link and get your free trial or upgrade your existing subscription. You will also get access to my personal resources to help you grow faster. I will see you on the other side.